And now it's my pleasure to pass the stage to Professor Stefanie Dehnen, the president of the German Chemical Society, and afterward to Professor Fabio Levi, president of the Primo Levi International Study Center.
Thank you very much. Cara senatrice a vita, professoressa Elena Cattaneo, caro professore Renzo Levi, figlio di Primo Levi e membro del Centro Internazionale di Studi Primo Levi, caro professore Fabio Levi, presidente del Centro Internazionale di Studi Primo Levi, caro professore Gianluca Farinola, presidente della Società Chimica Italiana, cara professoressa Angela Agostiano, President of the European Chemical Society, dear Professor Wolfram Koch, President-elect of the European Chemical Society, dear colleagues, dear distinguished guests, dear Professor Jean-Marie Lehn. It is my great honor to welcome you all to this significant ceremony on behalf of the German Chemical Society, GDCH. I would also like to extend my greetings to Ms. Sophia von Hatzfeld from the Cultural Office of the German Embassy, who can unfortunately not be with us today. I'm truly delighted to be here with you in this impressive venue to bestow an important prize upon a remarkable personality. This ceremony represents not merely an award presentation, but a celebration of values that transcend science and touch the very core of our humanity. The prize we award today bears the name of Primo Levi, a name that carries profound weight and meaning, particularly in Germany. We've already heard a bit about Primo Levi's life, and we are going to hear more about that, so I will not repeat it here, but I'd like to emphasize again that his courage, being aware of the fact that his commitment against fascism bears a high risk, extended far beyond academic pursuit, which should be an example for all of us. For us Germans, preserving Primo Levi's legacy carries special responsibility and significance. His testimony reminds us not only of the darkest chapter in our history, but also of the imperative to remain vigilant guardians of human dignity and democratic values. His life exemplifies how science and moral responsibility are inseparably intertwined. We gather here today in challenging times. Wars rage on multiple continents, democratic institutions face threats from within and without, global challenges like climate change and pandemics demand urgent action. Economic uncertainties make life increasingly difficult for many people around the world. The temptation to retreat into our private spheres, to look away and rather focus solely on our own concerns has perhaps never been stronger. Yet it is precisely in such times that we must resist this temptation. We must take a stand, show moral courage, and orient ourselves by the examples of those who came before us. Primo Levi was such an example, a man who, despite experiencing unimaginable suffering through persecution, imprisonment, and forced labor, never lost his humanity. Even more remarkably, he transformed his suffering into a mission to educate future generations about the horrors of the Holocaust, to ensure that never again would not remain an empty phrase but a living commitment. As a chemist, Primo Levi understood the importance of precise observations and accurate reporting. As a witness, he applied the same principles to documenting human experience. He showed us that science without ethics is dangerous, but also that ethics without knowledge is powerless. In our current era of misinformation, polarization, and the manipulation of truth, this insistence on bearing honest witness is more vital than ever. Primo Levi reminds us that remaining human in unhuman times is both our greatest challenge and our most essential duty. He teaches us that knowledge, whether scientific or historical, carries with it the responsibility to act, to speak out, and to stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we, the German Chemical Society, proudly affirm our commitment to democracy, freedom of expression, and scientific integrity. For us, Primo Levi represents both an inspiration and a warning. An inspiration to pursue science in service of humanity, and a warning of what can happen when we abandon our moral compass. His legacy challenges us to recognize that chemistry, like all sciences, does not exist in a vacuum. It is practiced by human beings, for human beings, and must therefore be guided by human values. In a world facing many challenges requiring scientific solutions, we must remember that technical knowledge alone is insufficient. We need wisdom, compassion, and moral courage, qualities that Primo Levi embodied throughout his life. We are deeply honored and proud to award this prize together with our cherished colleagues from the Società Chimica Italiana and the Centro Internazionale di Studi Primo Levi. This collaboration itself embodies the spirit of international cooperation and shared values that Primo Levi championed. It represents a bridge between nations, one divided by war, now united in the pursuit of scientific excellence and human dignity. And we honor Professor Jean-Marie Lehn today. We celebrate both his outstanding scientific achievement and the continuation of a tradition that Primo Levi exemplified, the union of intellectual rigor with moral purpose, of scientific excellence with human compassion. May this prize serve as a beacon, reminding us all of our responsibility to use our knowledge and skills in service of humanity, to speak truth in the face of falsehood, and to stand firm in defense of human dignity, especially when it is most under threat. Thank you all for being here today to share this meaningful occasion. Thank you very much.